You've been hacked again. I'm Spooky the Neck Gremlin, and I have the power. The power to hack all of your passwords, all of the time. Did you know that most people use very easy to hack passwords? Are you one of those people? 123456 is the most popular password in the entire world. How about QWERTY, or your local sports team, or even using your name? Is that you? Then consider yourself. Good job you don't have some kind of password manager that creates and manages secure passwords for— Damn it! Oh crap, he's got NordPass. Damn it, NordPass is more than a password manager. It's the essential cybersecurity tool that makes everyone's life easier and safer. You can store all your passwords in one place. NordPass has an autofill feature, generates secure passwords, and you can even find out if your account has been hacked with the data breach scanner. And you can get 50% off a NordPass premium plan at nordpass.com/Mecha, and you can get an additional month for free. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. I better go hack someone who doesn't have NordPass.
The MRX-009 Psycho Gundam might just be one of, if not the biggest Gundams around, at least when it comes to Gundam anime. Hailing from 1985's Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, this isn't actually a mobile suit, it's technically a mobile armor. At 40 meters tall, it's over twice the size of your standard Gundam, and the model kit reflects this exactly. This thing, when it comes to 1/44th scale, is absolutely colossal. Even though this is a mobile armor, it has every characteristic of a classic Gundam mobile suit. It's got 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, and has the general shape. So as well as this bipedal walking mode, this kit and the mobile suit from the anime also has a mobile armor mode, so this kit does pack in a transformation. This Psycho Gundam can only be piloted by a Cyber New type. That means all of its weapons are controlled by the Psycomu system. So everything this kit is rocking weapon-wise is on the mobile suit itself, besides the shield. So this is a kit right here that's almost 20 years old. This came out in 2004, and although it definitely feels like a classic kit, there's still some aspects about this that are quite awesome. First off, the main thing is it is absolutely huge. If you take a high grade, a master grade, and a perfect grade, this is 1/44th scale as all high grades are, but this thing stands just as tall as a perfect grade Gundam, which is ridiculous. The color scheme is completely unique. The overall look is completely unique too, so if you want something in your collection that really stands out, this could be it. However, when it does come to this kit, it isn't necessarily all positive depending on your own perspective. This feels and looks retro. It's quite anime accurate if you take the 1985 standpoint on it. There isn't much in the lines of detail besides what you see on screen, no extra panel lining, and no real changing of the original design. You can actually mistake this for a retro antique action figure with the general look and feel of the kit. But on the whole, without a single doubt, this is unique and worth taking a look at. Now here we go. So now moving into the aesthetics, and the one thing you notice straight away with this kit is its monolithic size and presence. This thing is going to put anything in your high-grade collection to size shame, except if you've got some massive mobile armors, but mobile suit-wise, definitely gonna stand out from the crowd. As well as being huge and imposing, this thing is unapologetically retro. And I don't mean 2004 retro, I mean 1985 retro. This looks like an old action figure or something like a sofubi or soft vinyl figure. It has that kind of a vibe. It's not that detailed, the colors are over the top in a kind of subtle way, and the whole thing just screams retro figure. When it comes to the actual technical aspects of the model kit itself, when it comes to knobs, these are quite prevalent, and some of the plastic is very likely to nub up, especially the red, so you're gonna have to take a lot of care with that. There are screws in its build, which is actually something I do like. It does give kits a bit of a robust nature, especially larger ones with older tech in them, but you will need a screwdriver for the build. When it comes to seam lines, we do have quite a few, especially in the ABS parts like around on the back of the legs. A lot of the rest of the seam lines are made to look like armor panels, but there are some that really do stand out here and there. Nothing awful, but it might take a little bit of extra work if you don't want those in your build. When it comes to the color accuracy, overall it is quite good, and the main colors are there. The colors do look good. The red is a little bit on the transparent side, but you don't really notice that once the kit is put together. And the V-fin on this is actually made out of a rubbery kind of plastic that is a little inclined to get permanently bent. When it comes to the stickers, there are a whole bunch of stickers in here. We've got the standard ones for using up on the eyes, which aren't too bad. And then we've got a lot for the yellow detailing. Again, not so bad. These aren't necessarily parts, these are details. So they don't look that bad, but you may want to paint these yourself, so you will need a little bit of yellow. Panel line wise, this is very lacking. There is a little bit here and there, like in the yellow of the crotch plates, but besides that, it's very classic with those large, flush armor plates. One great aspect about this kit is it does rock articulated hands. We've got moving joints in all of the fingers, the thumb does not have any moving joints but can move around, so these are incredibly poseable and they do look great. These are made out of an ABS plastic that gives them a very nice sheen, and one hell of a nice, perfect smooth finish. However, while we're mentioning articulation a little bit right here, I will mention this does not move in the torso at all, so it does look kind of limited at times in the way it stands, but that does add to its big, imposing, almost Frankenstein-style, threatening demeanor. So on the whole with the looks, if you want something with a bit of a retro flair that's huge and completely unique, this is exactly what you'll be looking for, but there may be a few things you might want to do like paint out of the box. When it comes to the accessories, the high-grade Psycho Gundam isn't really rocking a lot in the box, but that is anime accurate. Most of its weaponry is on the actual unit itself, and I'll go through all of that before we take a look at the shield. So all of this information as usual is from the Gundam Wiki, now here we go. There are two small mega beam cannons mounted on the center of the V-fin on the unit's head. The Psycho Gundam has 3 diffuse mega particle cannons in its abdomen. They each emit multiple energy beams that can easily destroy an enemy unit in one shot. The fingers of the Psycho Gundam each contain a beam cannon for a total of 10 beam cannons. Each of these cannons is capable of doing some serious damage. And finally then, the only actual accessory we have in here is the shield. This is used to protect the unit from ballistic and beam weapons. In Mobile Fortress mode, the shield splits in half and are placed on the lower sides, stabilizing the Minovsky craft system. As for the shield, it is exactly the same quality as the rest of the unit. We do have some moving parts in here, which are to do with the transformation we'll take a look at later. The color separation is quite nice, that is the black, red, and that light gray. And the detailing is quite nice, especially if you're planning to paint it yourself. The attachment we have in here is quite simple, so that is a ball joint connecting to the shield and a peg for attaching into the side of the arm. In order to attach it, we do have to pull out this little panel right here. The attachment of this shield is quite good. It is made out of ABS, so it's got a lot of nice grip. But I will mention, right now it is solid as a rock, but I do have the premium Bandai version of this kit, which is the Psycho Gym. Now, I've found over time the arm has lost the ability to actually support this absolutely massive shield, but this may or may not be the case with the Psycho Gym, but there's no way to tell yet. So when it comes to the articulation on the high-grade Psycho Gundam, this is a mix of old school yet robust. So there isn't really a whole lot going on at most of the joints. They're simplistic for the most part, with minimal range of motion, so you're not going to be getting too many over-the-top poses. But at the same time, this is a transforming suit, or should I say mobile armor, which means that if it did have a lot going on, it could undermine everything. So if it had a transformation mixed with a lot of range of movement, you could end up with a floppy mess. This, however, went with the route of minimal motion and a staunch, robust build. The neck is just a simple ball joint giving you simple motion. We've got these little flap segments up on the shoulders that can move up and down. These shoulders do pack in a full 360-degree spin. As for the raise at the shoulder, they can raise up almost parallel to the ground. Almost. Full 360-degree spin at the upper arm. We've got a somewhat limited bend at the elbow, actually. That is extremely limited. When it comes to the articulation on this kit, the hands are one of the most impressive aspects. We've got rotation at the wrist. The entire hand is poseable in pretty much every regard. It might look a little bit on the loose side here, but there is a locking mechanism. This is actually slightly released in order to get a little bit more out of it, but that is actually part of the transformation. But on the whole, you get pretty much everything in these hands besides a thumb bend. These are impressive. Moving down to the torso now, and there is nothing going on here at all in regard to articulation. You cannot move anything. No ab crunch, no side to side, no nothing. That is because a vast majority of this kit's transformation is inside of the torso, housed inside of this unit. So although it doesn't move in this bipedal mode, there is still a lot going on in there, but we'll check that out in a bit. The side skirting in here does feature a little bit of an upwards moving mechanism. It can move up and down like so. Side skirts can also move up and down as well. And as usually the case, we have a paralyzed butt flap. The hips inside of here are ball joints, which is usual for an older high grade. The kicks we get out of this, there it is all the way up to the front, again around parallel to the ground. Out to the back it is quite blocked by that non-moving butt flap, and these are ball joint hips, so the splits we get in here is very minimal. We get a bit of rotation up at the hip, not too much. A simple knee bend, again not too crazy, and then down at the ankle we get a little bit to the front, back and side to side. Not too bad, but once again, quite limited. So the transformation to mobile armor mode is actually the most complex aspect of this particular kit, and it seems like that is what Bandai focused on about 20 or so years ago. For the most part, this is simple enough and gave me no issues, besides a couple of aspects. First off, I found it a little hard to get the chest to pop out without using something to actually leverage it out. And one of the legs just did not want to stick and hold in position, so that is a little bit on the loose side, but besides that, it's simple enough and it holds together quite well. Just like we've seen with the rest of this particular kit, the mobile armor mode of the Psycho Gundam is unapologetically retro. This doesn't necessarily look like anything, it just looks like a big old block with wings. But then again, that is one of the appealing points to the Psycho Gundam. It is really freaky in a way. Just a big, hovering block that just spews destruction and can turn into a giant Gundam. Pretty damn awesome. So when it comes to the high-grade Psycho Gundam, this is huge and very retro feeling. This is a unique kit without a single doubt, and of course if something like this was released today, I would rank it somewhere down on the bottom end of my ranking tiers. But because this is older, I'm gonna keep that in mind. This to me is gold tier, and for 2004, this is impressive. It does absolutely everything it needs to do and no more, and successfully does all of that. It's big, it's imposing, it's retro looking, and it is cool. If you like more modern gunpla with a lot more modern detail, this may not be for you, and if you like something that can pose a lot, this definitely isn't. But if you like old school, you like transforming, and you just want a huge Psycho Gundam for your collection, I say go for it. Gold tier, it's awesome. Anyway, as always, thank you so much to NordPass for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, make sure to come back for more gunpla reviews, and I'll see you next time. As always, none of these videos would be possible without each and every one of you guys watching this video right now, and my special thanks to those who are helping out over on the channel memberships and on Patreon, including Gunpla UK Limited, or G59061, Joe Forsetti, Joseph Kukluk, Lauren Seahack, Global Frequency Studios, Van Fawn, Caleb Engelhart,